Welcome to the Pixl Marketing Show, the podcast for real estate media pros who want to go from random acts of marketing to remarkable results. I'm your host, Pete Stagel, founder of Pixl CRM and creator of the Pixl Marketing Method. And every week, we're diving into the systems, strategies, and real stories that help you attract better clients, retain them longer, and grow a real business. Let's get into it.
A second for everything to load up here. And we'll dive in to day 5 of the Pixl Accelerator. Everybody's still enjoying this, getting good value out of all of the past sessions?
Totally.
Okay. Perfect. All right, let me find my window and we're going to dive in to the reactivation campaign. Let's see. Again, this is one of those cool little quick wins that is going to not take you very long to set up, but get a lot of value out of it and a lot of things. It just kind of starts running on its own once you set it back. So let me dive into my screen share. And let's see. I had a slightly different setup today, so gonna move all my windows around so I can actually see what I'm doing. So the reactivation campaign. You guys are all onboarded into Pixl CRM. We together the client status tracker, and that's here in the pipeline under client status, and it's here somewhere. There it is up top. What this is it's a stoplight system where when was the last time somebody placed an order? So you've got green, last 30 days, yellow, last 60, red, 90, inactive is 90, or over 90, and lost is 180. And quite frankly, most of your clients that are good clients should really kind of just cycle back and forth between green and yellow. They really should not get past that. But I'm sure most of you, when we first imported all of your data, you found quite a few people over here in the inactive and lost and even red stages. And those are the clients that you worked for once, maybe 2 years ago, and never heard from again. Those are the clients that maybe you were working with consistently, and for whatever reason, they decided to move on to another photographer, and you haven't worked with them in a while. Reason that I built the client status tracker is it was very, very common when I got busy that I'd forget to check on some of the clients that were doing a lot of volume with me. And so all of a sudden, you'd be busy doing shoots. And I was like, hey, where'd John Joe go? And then I'd go and look, and sure enough, they still look listing properties, just having somebody else shoot it. And so the whole point of this is to be able to take action on it. And so you get notifications every time that you go from each stage, green to yellow, yellow to red, to inactive, and inactive to lost. And the shorter stages here are great reminders that you need to go check on somebody. Somebody that a name that pops up that you know you should be doing more business with, more regular basis. Just a quick, maybe I should go give them a call. Now, once to get over here, we have the process built out called the reactivation campaign, or the Reactivation Rocket in the Pixl Marketing Method. What that is once they get past that day 90 of not having a shoot with you, they should have had a shoot with you, even if they were a low volume agent, realistically. And so they probably haven't used you and moved them to somebody else. And so that's where you want to immediately start reactivating them and bringing them back into your business. And so we're going to dive into how that all works. But I just wanted to go over this part first because it's right here in the inactive stage. So inactive and lost are the clients that we're going to be working the reactivation campaign with. Once we set this up, everybody who moves into the inactive stage going forward will automatically get the reactivation campaign. And I'll also show you how to add everybody who is already in the inactive and lost. And what you'll find, and we'll go into what type of offer and whatnot here in a second. But when I first set this reactivation campaign up and ran it to all of my past clients, I ran it to about 260 and who stopped using us over the course of 5 or 6 years. And we brought back 18% within the first 2 weeks. And then several of them had multiple shoots after that. So this has the potential of bringing back much more revenue than even your Pixl CRM subscription a year is. So this by itself can pay for everything you're doing in your marketing. Again, we're going to jump down here into workflows. That's where most everything here works when it comes to the automation. Everything, I'm a little bit slower when I'm on Zoom. I'll load here in a second. Cloudflare had a nice little outage for night. I don't know if anybody saw that. The internet went down. Again, get this refreshed here. Nothing like finding things live. Get this loaded up again. Maybe it's down again. Wouldn't that be fun? Bear with me as we get this loaded up again. Guys, let me get this logged back in. So of course, it should log me back out. There we go. All right, let's get this screen share again. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Let's get back into it. All right, so under workflows, we're going to go to client reactivation. And in here, we have two main workflows. This is a test that we were doing in my demo account. You'll have the remove from reactivation campaign and client reactivation campaign. You do need to turn both of those on when you're going to do this reactivation campaign. One just removes them from it once the place is ordered. We'll step through that here in a second. But we're going to go through the client reactivation campaign first and show how this all works. So again, it's going to be triggered by a inactive over 90 days. So on day 91, this will be triggered. We're going to put a note on the client that they've been added to the reactivation campaign so that you know they were added to the reactivation campaign and with whatever the offer is. And I'll show you where we're going to set those values up here in a second as well. We're going to create an expiration date. An offer, especially a reactivation campaign offer with expiration date, just drives a little bit more urgency for them to actually take you up on that. And we're going to send an email. And the email is contact name, have you forgotten us? We miss you. Here's a special offer to come back and book your next shoot. This is intentionally cheesy. Mainly to get their attention and to get them to look at the offer and open up the email. And so it's going to pull in all of your logo and your information in here. The default, again, this is one of those templates that's just ready to go. Very simply, we've checked our records and it's been too long since you booked a shoot with us. Please accept this gift of a free blank offer, no strings attached gift certificate. Come back and book your next listing. But it's only good until, and it has a expiration date, and it has a code for them to use. The offer that we typically recommend that you use on this, I've used it and a lot of our other clients have as well, is a $50 coupon code. It's $50 off of their next order that they place with you. I would restrict it to one of our packages. So they had to book one of our packages, not one of our lower priced carts. And if you notice, we're framing this as a gift certificate or a gift card. And a gift certificate or a gift card has inherent value, whereas a discount doesn't. And so we're not going to say, here's a $50 discount on your next shoot, because that is, again, more of to the fact they pay and whatnot. Just psychologically, it doesn't come across as a value now, the value later type of mentality. They're much more likely to use it because if they don't use it, they're wasting $50 effectively. So that $50 gift certificate or gift card phrasing just changes how people perceive it, and people want to use it much more often than if we're to just, here's a $50 off your next shoot, $50 gift certificate. They're much more likely to use. And then it has a link to book their next listing. And so we're going to wait an hour and then send a text message. Very similar, pretty much the same verbiage. If you've forgotten us, here's a free $50 gift card when you book your next listing with us. Offer is valid until with this expiration date. Use this code, which is going to be the coupon code for your system, and you can book here, and it's going to use the booking link. So the concept behind this goes all the way back to Ken Kennedy, and he's the godfather of direct response marketing. And he used to do letter campaigns. And so he would do a 3-step letter trying to get somebody to take them up on their offer or a reactivation campaign or what have you. He got the idea from collectors. And so when you get into a position where you owe somebody money and they've sent it to the collectors, they'll use a 3-step letter campaign, first notice, second notice, final notice to try to get you to pay the debt off. And Dan Kennedy looked at that and said, well, if they can get money out of people who don't have money by using this concept of the first, second, and final notice, then we should probably be able to get money from or sales from people who do like us and do have money and are wanting to work with us. And so that's what we're using in this. And so we're going to do a 3-step email and text message campaign for the reactivation. And so every 2 weeks a year, we're going to wait 14 days, which is also the time frame for the expiration date. So once the expiration date comes up and expires, we're going to send another email and text message. And so we're going to update all of the expiration date to another 2 weeks out. We'll do this email. It's, we've been looking for you. And set your sights on this. Here's a special offer to come back. And so we've got another cheesy AI design of a monkey in a safari set looking for somebody. So it's, feel free to use this. These images work just fine. If you want to update, feel free. But we've been looking for you. A few weeks ago, we emailed you a free $50 no strings attached. This should get, we've been waiting patiently, but you haven't booked your next listing yet. Just in case you can't find it, here's another chance to come back. But you need to do it before this offer expires with the expiration date. We've made it super easy. Just enter the code when you book your next listing. And so you put the code in there and the link. And then the text message is going to go out 1 hour later as well. Very similarly, same verbiage there. And then we're going to wait 14 days, update the expiration date, and do this all again. And so 6 tweaks, 3 emails, 3 text messages. Now this one is going to be the final notice one. It's contact name, we're all broken up. Don't miss your last chance. Here's a special offer to come back. And so this one, again, very, very cheesy. But, we're all broken up. Twice now we've emailed you a free $50 no strings attached gift certificate. Time is almost run out for you to use this offer to your business. In case you can't find it, here's your final chance to come back, but you need to use it before this offer expires. Don't miss your last chance. And the code in here. What we found when we ran this campaign is we would get a lot of people on the first and second, and then a lot of people well after the third. So they would either come back and message us and say, hey, I got this. It's a $50 gift card, still good. Usually I would say yes, unless they were trying to do it on a This brings people because it's giving them a reason to book a shoot with you and calling out the fact that we know that they haven't been booking with you. And so you have the rest of this is going to put a note saying the client finished the reactivation campaign. Then what we typically like to do is wait 6 months and then do it all over again. Every 6 months, if they don't place an order, they're just going to go right into the reactivation campaign. This is one of those things where you can set it and turn it on, and it's great when you first get started because you're constantly, at least getting a offer out there, trying to get your past clients to come back. Ultimately, I do build more out in the Pixl marketing method inside of Pixl CRM. You'll be staying top of mind and reaching out so much more often that people aren't going to be getting into this part of the process as often. You're not going to have people that haven't been placing orders in 90 plus days as much. This one, if you do the reactivation campaign, again, most people aren't going to be paying attention to how often you email them, especially if it's every 2 weeks. But it does keep you top of mind, keeps giving them a reason to book a shoot with you and come back into your business. So that's the workflow there. If we go back into the other workflow, the remove from reactivation campaign, like I said, you have to turn this one on as well. All this is we're checking to see the date last order is changed and they're in the reactivation campaign. We're going to remove them from that so that we don't continue sending them the coupons and the reactivation. There's a couple of things you do need to set up besides viewing the reactivation campaign, making sure that it makes sense to you and that you're, by default, it should pull all of the information from your account in there. You shouldn't need to change it. But I always want you guys to know what is being sent out. So make sure you're reviewing that and then turn it on. One of the things you do need to do, obviously, those codes. So we go into custom values. Again, we put a lot of the stuff into custom values for this. And so we've got CR offer and CR offer code. And so what you're going to do is you're going to go into your booking platform and you're going to create a fun code for $50 off. Or if you want to do more or less, you can try that as well. What I like to do is $50, that's our offer. And our coupon code, I like to do welcome back 50. So I set those up in my booking platform and I add them in here. And then it's going to just go right to the booking link. So it's going to, the booking link that it's putting in the email, the text message is the booking link that's in here. It's here somewhere, let's see. Booking link right here. So when you set up your system, you should have put your booking link in here. So just make sure that there is one. That's where a lot of the issue call to actions throughout the system will be linked to. So you'll do that, and then you'll turn the reactivation campaign on. It'll go. Now, how do you get all the past clients that have already hit stage, the inactive stage and the lost stage? You're going to go to contacts. And again, I'm in the newer version that hasn't pushed out to everybody's account, but the same filters apply. So just keep that in mind. You go to filters. We're going to look for tag, and we're going to do tag is any of. We're going to do client status inactive and client status lost. So those are everybody who hasn't booked a shoot in 90 plus days. Could be all the way up to several years, depending on how much data you had when you put it into the system. And we're going to click apply. And in my demo account, I've got 35 contacts. Cool. So I'm going to select all of those and I'm going to create automation. And so I'm going to add all of these people to that reactivation campaign. Now, you don't have the reactivation campaign turned on. You're not going to be able to see it here in the workflow, but I'm going to walk you through this anyway. So you put in here, add to reactivation campaign, just so you know what it is. You just select your workflow, which mine is not on in the demo account, so it's not actually going to show up here. Please select your reactivation campaign. If you have a lot of people. So what I mean by a lot of people, if you have more than 100 people in your list, I would break this up into about 50 chunks and send it in drip mode. And what this will do is you'll pick a start time. So let's say we want to start it Monday morning at 9 a.m. So you'll select your start time. Number of you actually want to drip into the workflow. I do 50 at a time and repeat after each day. So repeat after one day, Monday through Friday. That's what I would do. And then what that'll do is it'll add 50 people a day to that reactivation campaign. And that way you don't send a ton of messages or a ton of emails all at once. And so you'll drip that out over the next week or so, depending on how many contacts you have that are in that inactive and lost stage. Like I said, I did 260, I think, in my business. And so I dripped it out 50 a day over the course of a week. We've had several other clients recently turn on the reactivation campaign, the $50 fund code amount. And one client put, I think, almost 500 people through. And they had 8 new bookings within that first week, that first email. People who hadn't sent, obviously, in the last 90 days or more. And so that alone, and his order value is pretty substantial. That alone covers his Pixl CRM subscription. So that's what I'm saying is like, this is a great way to bring people back that wouldn't normally be reminded to use you. And so them into there, run that reactivation campaign. This is another one of those things where you should be able to do all of this today. If you carve out half an hour after this call, after this training, and just go set up the reactivation campaign, make sure you set up the coupon code and the offer, review the emails, add everybody to it, could have a large chunk of new shoots and new revenue coming in just by doing this one simple action here. So that is the reactivation campaign. And there isn't a whole lot more to do with that. Like I said, it's a very simple process, nice quick win to generate some revenue and some shoots. So we'll open up to some questions if you guys have any.
I'd like to jump in first.
Sure.
let's talk about seasonality of businesses where, in my example, things are quite quiet at this time of year. We've got lots of white fluffy snow outside now, and it tends to scare people away from selling houses. So I just think wouldn't necessarily want to be trying to reactivate people now, or even our busier clients who tend to go quiet this time of year. I just think maybe we need, or how do I modify this to be more reflective of the seasonality of my business?
Yep. And we've chatted about that a little bit too. And I know you've got several clients that they just don't do anything in the wintertime. They may be great clients during the busy season during the summer, but you've got nothing going on in the winter. And I get that. And just a couple of things you can do. You can either turn the reactivation campaign off and just go into the workflows and turn it off. If your business completely comes to a screeching halt, you may want to do that, or at least not turn it on. So all you got to do there is just draft this workflow and nobody will be added to it. The other thing you can do is in the reactivation campaign here, if you have a certain segment of your clients that you know and can tag as low volume or summertime only or something along those lines, where if it matters to you, then you know certain agents just don't do anything in the wintertime. You can put a filter in here. You put it in yes, and check to see, is low volume or whatever your whatever you is, and then do a branch. One would be low volume yet, and you'll just do a quick check to see if the tag includes. There's tag includes whatever that low volume tag is, and then you just skip the reactivation campaign for those people. This is helpful, especially even in the busy season, if you have a segment of your clients that just don't do much. Maybe you just know that agent A is, they love you, you like working with them, they do 2 listings a year. Maybe you want to tag them as low volume so that they just don't get into the reactivation campaign. Those are the 2 ways to get around that. And probably for you, I would just not have the reactivation campaign running during snow season if the majority of your clients aren't going to be doing that. It's a great time though to be working on all of your first impressions framework and your client connection roadmap so that you're staying top of mind with your clients without them having to get to the reactivation campaign. Was that helpful? Did that kind of answer your question? Okay.
Yeah, I think I started off, I turned it to, instead of 90 days, I think I turned it to 120. But yeah, I'll continue to think about it. Thank you.
Awesome. Nick.
And see, so my pipeline looks like it got renamed. It still works. Like I still get notifications about agents going into the different inactive stages and such.
Okay.
But my pipeline is not there. And the one that the workflow is drawing from is from a different pipeline completely that doesn't have any of that. I don't know if you could add that back in for me or.
Shoot me an email and I will review it and make sure we get that back to where it should be.
All right. Thanks.
Of course. All right, Michael.
Hey, Pete, on the emails and texts that go out that say, have you forgotten us? I'm absolutely with you. We need to be tying that $50 to a package, but I don't see any verbiage in here regarding that. And I got a lot of folks that just buy the basic 25 and that, and yeah, I'd much rather. So I think you add packages in there somewhere on the tech.
So a lot of the templates that we pushed out and a lot of the ones we do this for are a little bit more on the generic side, specifically so that you can get going easily without having to do many modifications.
Gotcha.
Now, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't modify it if you have a want and desire to do so. I would recommend that you modify almost every template to be more specific to your finality, your verbiage, and what have you. So all you do is you go into the reactivation campaign, which is another reason why it's not by default, and you can go right into the email and the text messages and update the verbiage.
Yeah.
You can change anything you want in here.
Got it.
Up to and I don't recommend this. I do know some people who are doing it. You could change the offer completely and just put in here, maybe a free drone add-on or something like that.
got
I don't
you.
recommend that. I like the coupon code. I think it works really well, and it's a great way to kind of just have it running in the background. But if you update this email, you don't have to use the custom values. This is just what makes it easy to get going really quick. But
Sure.
if you update the verbiage in here for whatever you to do, that works just fine. Just know that you need to make sure you're updating everything, not just little pieces here and there and have it not work.
Yes, I would assume I would need to update each of those prompts that go out, right?
Yep, you'd want to do each of the
Got it.
emails. You'd probably, I would leave the expiration date of 2 weeks. That's kind of what pushes that urgency. But you can, change it out. If you don't want to use a code, you just want to, hey, click this link and take me up on this offer. You can do that.
Got it.
There's a lot of stuff that you can do to customize almost everything in the system. What we've given you is a good starting point so you can get going, and then you can make changes as you go.
No, sounds good. Just wanted to check. Thanks.
Absolutely. All right. Any other questions? Just raise your hand and we'll answer them. All right. This is our last day of the Pixl Accelerator. Like I said, these are the 5 kind of quick wins to kind of get going in this system. Like I said, that the last couple of them are pretty easily, pretty easy plug and play style quick wins. And like I said, this one, Doug has a good point. This may not be the perfect time to be doing it if you're lower, but it is something that I would recommend set up and get going here after you take a look at your business and the clients and what have you. Again, this will be in the Pixl Accelerator channel in the community. And as we're wrapping up of the Pixl Accelerator, I do want to let you know that we do have a couple of new programs that we're going to be launching here shortly to help you get a lot more of this type of stuff set up in your business. So we have 2 programs. One is going to be done with you to help you as you go along. And then another one is done for you, actually going through and setting up these things for you. If you're interested in any of those things, shoot me an email at pete@pixlcrm.com. And we can chat about that and see if that's a good fit for you, especially as we're getting into the slow season and getting all of the stuff ready for the busy season next year. If we don't have any other questions, we're going to wrap it up there. Hope everybody should have a great rest of the day and a great weekend. We can get more stuff done in your business.
Thanks, Pete. Thank you, Pete.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Thanks for listening to the Pixl Marketing Show. If you're ready to go from random acts of marketing to remarkable results, grab your free copy of the Pixl Marketing Method at pixelmarketingmethodbook.com. If this episode helped you, share it with another real estate media business owner. Make sure to follow the show so you never miss an episode. Until next time.